What's going on YouTube? Billy Rains here, and I'm guessing FMCSA has a problem with how these young guns are out here getting their CDLs. So let's talk about it. Before we get too far into the videos, if you guys wouldn't mind, hit that like button, subscribe, helps me out a ton. But like I was saying earlier, so the FMCSA, I guess they're having a little bit of problem with how people are getting their CDLs. So we're going to talk about that today because they've made some suggestions and they want you to go comment on them. You know, kind of like they did with the mile per hour regulator when everybody went over there, like 15,000 y'all went over there and said, we don't want this, and then they did it anyway. But so we're going to talk about it because if this is what they're suggesting, this is probably what's going to happen. On Tuesday, the FMCSA released a notice of proposed rulemaking. So if you see NPRM anywhere else in this video, it means notice of proposed rulemaking, intended to increase testing efficiency and flexibility for applicants seeking a CDL or a commercial learner's permit. So if you're CLP from now on, it's commercial learner's permit. The agency said that the proposed changes will allow applicants to obtain a CDL and be productively employed as a CMV, a commercial motor vehicle driver, in less time than it currently takes without this is important, without compromising safety. So remember that, guys, when you're watching through this video, remember that all these changes, they're all meant to speed up the process between getting your CLP and getting your CDL. But keep in mind, while you're listening to these suggestions, keep in mind, they're doing all this with the intent of not compromising safety. Not compromising safety. So the first suggestion is CDL holder in the passenger seat exemption. Part of the NPRM would provide CLP holders who have passed the CDL skills test. Currently, a CDL holder must be physically present in the front passenger seat of a CMV to supervise in order for a CLP holder to operate a CMV on public roads and highways. If the rule passes, the FMCSA would allow CLP holders who have passed the CDL skills test to operate a CMV for any reason, provided a CDL holder is physically present in the CMV. The CLP driver has passed the CDL skills test and the driver possesses documentary evidence from the testing state that they have passed the CDL skills test. So this is the one that sounds kind of crazy to me because I remember young Billy Rains 5 years ago. That's right, Billy Rains, 5 years experience truck driving, 5 years experience YouTubing. I know sometimes with the YouTube thing that comes into question, but when I was going through CDL school, I don't ever remember the entire time I was at Premier Truck Driving School in Cedar Hill, which, if you're wondering, is no longer open because after they got done training me, they was like, I don't think we could ever train a better driver than this guy. So they closed the doors. They were like, hey, we trained the best truck driver on the planet. Our job is done. Let's get out of here. But the whole time I was there, I never remember them ever letting me drive the truck without somebody sitting next to me. Now, there might have been 10 dudes in the back sitting on the bunk, but there was always one guy, a trainer over here, sitting here with this little clipboard, always sitting over there. So maybe you guys can explain this more down in the comment section below what they're talking about, because I can't imagine me with my CLP. I didn't drive a truck without anybody there with me until after I got on a trainer's truck at CR England, and we drove down the road about an hour, stopped and got, well, we were in Cedar Hill, we stopped in Anna, I think, at the Loves north of Dallas, and he he got out, went in the back, went to sleep after we got back on the highway from getting fuel. Because he always made sure I got him up for fuel so that he could get the points. But once we got back on the highway, that was the first time I ever drove without somebody sitting in the passenger seat next to me. And it was terrifying. The next one is skills testing for out-of-state applicants. The NPRM proposes removing the requirement that an applicant must have obtained training in the testing state in order to take the CDL skills test in that state. The FMCSA suggests that this change may allow applicants to obtain a CDL sooner by scheduling the skills test in a state with shorter waiting times. So I was reading this one right here, and I was like, this one just seems to make sense, right? Like, say what I was talking about earlier, right? You go through a truck driving company for your CDL, and you want a driver's license in your home state, right? Then do you have to go? I don't know, because I took mine in Texas, which is where my driver's license was. So if I would have went to Utah, went through CDL school, and did all that, would I have had to come back to Texas and tested? Let me know down in the comments, but that just doesn't make any sense. I feel like you should be able to take, I mean, because it's the FMCSA, right? It's a federal organization. You should be able to take the test anywhere in America. The laws for a CDL, which is like a United States-wide thing, the rules in Texas should be the same as Utah, should be the same as Indiana. I know a lot of the laws are different, and they should be, because the laws that work in Texas may not work in New York City, may not work in Seattle, Washington. But when it comes to driving a commercial vehicle down the road, it feels like you should be able to get your test in any state and get a license in any state. Or it should transfer over at least, right? Like if I get a CDL, if I go to school in Arizona and get a CDL there, I should be able to bring it back to Texas and trade it in for a Texas CDL. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments if you think I'm crazy. The next one is CLP holders eligible to take the CDL skills test without 14-day waiting period. The FMCSA has also suggested removing the restriction that prevents CLP holders from taking their CDL skills test for 14 days after receiving their CLP. Next up, operation of empty passenger CMVs. An additional provision would remove the requirement that CMV drivers must have a passenger endorsement to transport CMVs designed to carry passengers, including school buses, when the vehicle is transported in a drive-away, tow-away operation and the vehicle is not carrying any passengers. So this is another one right here that just, to me, just makes sense, right? Like, why would you need a passenger endorsement just to drive a passenger vehicle if there's no passengers in it? So to me, this is another, like the one earlier, this one right here, to me, is a no-brainer. This is like the same as getting your CDL in any state. This is a no-brainer. Third-party CDL knowledge testers. Also included in the NPRM is a provision to require that third-party knowledge examiners be subject to the training, certification, and record check standards currently applicable to state knowledge examiners, and third-party knowledge testers be subject to auditing and monitoring requirements now applicable to third-party skills testers. So, lots of good information here. Let me know what you guys think about these potential changes down in the comment section below, and I'll put it up here. I'll also put it down in the description. Like I said, FMCSA is opening up a time frame. It's going to be about 6 days long. It's not open yet, but it should be open soon. Maybe it's open now. I haven't checked yet today, but go check them out. If you feel passionately about this stuff, go comment on it. But at the end of the day, FMCSA, they're a government agency. They're going to do whatever they want to do, right? At the end of the day, that's just what it is. Now, they may take your comments into consideration. They may not. But you comment down below, I'll take your comment into consideration. But anyway, that's going to about do it for this video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting on the channel. I want to give a special thanks to Ike Stevens over on Bonehead Truckers for sharing out a couple of my videos, giving me some big numbers. Also, Trucker Gal, appreciate you sharing my stuff out as always. That's going to do it for now, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.